Hey, we're back with some more Monster Hunter. It took me long enough. I don't know where to begin. Kinda got sidetracked. Kinda like playing Horizon Zero Dawn. Kinda had to go get a pre-order for a specific game that goes by Fallout 76. I don't know if it's gonna be good. Kinda hate Elder Scrolls Online, so probably gonna hate that. But maybe I won't. I don't know. Everyone wants to be a big hissy fit about it. But you know what they say. A fuck of you. Anyways, if you don't know what the fuck's happening, you're going back to the dumb, stupid Rotten Vale again for the second time. Don't know why they had to make a big, huge cutscene for it the second time. Don't know why they couldn't just do it the first time. Like, oh, you can't fight the monsters in the Rotten Vale because you gotta go fight that ice dragon that beat your ass the first time when you first came to the Coral Highlands or whatever. No. You gotta wait till the second time you're gonna go to the Rotten Vale. And then it's gonna be like, yeah, now you gotta fight it. And then, that's not even the stupid thing. There's a third cutscene of you going to the Rotten Vale. I don't get why they made it this way. It makes no sense. I mean, yeah, it kind of builds suspense for when you fight this monster, but it's like, I would have wanted to fight that like about 10 quests ago. I don't want to fight it now. Especially when I got the Raffian armor. Which, by the way, going to make its armor. And I'll tell you why a little bit later. But now we're going back to our new normal way. So, yeah, I just cut out most of the stuff where finding the monster, then fighting it. I kind of started doing that so that way you don't have to see it from the very beginning. But, okay, I like this monster because the way it does its ice attacks is it uses either its scales or something. It creates like cold wind. It doesn't breathe ice. But anyways, I'm using the Switch Axe. Honestly, Switch Axe is my favorite weapon. Honestly, if I was going to do it the way I did it in the first couple of Monster Hunter videos, I'd probably do the Switch Axe last. Because, in my opinion, I use the Switch Axe a little too much. But then again, you wouldn't get the idea from this because I use the Gun Lance a lot. And I did use the Greatsword a lot for a while. But that's because Gun Lance actually works like really good on all these monsters. And I also think this monster is also weak to lightning, so that Gun Lance still becomes a really strong weapon. Anyways, you can fight this monster to make ice weapons. Finally get the ability to make ice weapons, which is weird because not a lot of monsters are weak to ice. Same with not a lot of monsters are weak to water. They're either weak to thunder or they're weak to fire. So, you know, I really don't get why they decided to make all these monsters weak to thunder. But then again, if you're like me, you could just use poison weapons. Poison weapons, like the Switch Axe, in sword mode, it has the ability to use poison attacks. Which, if you don't know, poison is, in my opinion, pretty broken. Because all you have to do is just hit it a couple times and it's poison. Especially if you're using Raffian or Pukey armor. Which were the two armor sets I've been using. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this monster. It's a shame that it's not like the Anjanath. The Anjanath, in my opinion, puts a lot of pressure, fear, and all that because it's a fast-moving monster. These wyverns, however, are not, and I also did get a plate from it, so that kind of adds to the reason why I'm making its armor. And okay, if you don't know about normal Monster Hunter, there could only be 2 monsters in an area. Well, now there's 3 that can be in an area. I don't know really how that happened, but there's 3 of them for whatever reason. But I don't think they can stay there that long. I think like the 3rd one has to leave at some point. The other thing that surprised me was when I went to pre-order Fallout 76, they actually had the Pip-Boy edition. Which, if you don't know, it's like the collector's edition, but I really wanted the collector's edition for Monster Hunter World, and I couldn't fucking get it, and it pissed me off. And they were like, hey, we got like 3 different versions. We got the standard version, we got the collector's edition, which, by the way, we don't have that. So, there's also this digital deluxe, but you didn't explain to me the fact that it was digital. So, now I got a fucking digital copy of Monster Hunter World. I don't have a physical copy, which pisses me off. So when I went to go pre-order that, I made sure to just get the normal edition. If I knew they had the collector's edition, maybe I would have gotten it, but that's a lot of money to spend on a game that I'm not even sure if I'm going to like it, especially if it's going to be like Elder Scrolls Online. My brother's like, hey, you should play Elder Scrolls Online, it's a fun game. Well, you know what? It's not. It's just like, it gets tedious. It's tedious because it takes forever to do one thing, and you gotta do like the thing 50 different times, and it pisses me off. And I hope this game doesn't do it to me either. Also, I've been sick, so yeah, there's that too. Anyways, here's the second monster you pretty much have to fight. You could fight the Great Gyros or whatever, but there's no real reason to fight it. I mean, you're just gonna get paralysis, weapons. But yeah, this monster has bleeding. Bleeding's a bit of a horrible status. So you can't run while bleeding, and you can't roll while bleeding. You gotta crouch in order to get healed from it. But I don't think... I could have sworn there was a way you could... When you heal bleeding, you couldn't get bleeding again for some time. Which you obviously saw was not true. I healed the bleeding the first time, and you get more health recovery. Like, when you get hit, you see there's like this red bar from where you get hit, and you can heal that much health back, but it turns yellow, which means it heals faster. But I don't know, I'm surprised this monster did have bleeding, especially for it being a fast monster. But that doesn't mean I don't like bleeding. I like bleeding as an effect. But it sucks that you got this toxic area where you're taking damage over time, and you're taking damage from the monster, which is kind of a bitch. But yeah, like you saw, we're now in the Rotten Vale for the 3rd time, and I don't get why they had to make such a big deal out of the Rotten Vale. It's like, yeah, it's a cool area, but you don't need to be like, hey, here's this Coral Valley. Oh, hey, here's this thing under the coral thing. So now then after you go there once, you gotta go there again, but then you don't go there again, you stay in the coral place, and you do the coral thing, then you gotta go back there, and it's just so tedious. It's like, they should let you hunt either one as soon as possible. They shouldn't have it be like, oh, hey, you gotta fight this thing, then fight this thing, which is in a different area, which was the area you were just in, but then you gotta fight this other thing. I don't think it's too big of a deal, but anyways, as you can see, I made the Ice Wyvern's armor. Obviously, I didn't mention it earlier, but it protects really good against ice, not great against fire, and I believe it's got some... No. It's got resistance to water, I believe. And some to dragon. It's better than the Raffian in the dragon department. But then those two monsters fight it out a little bit. And yeah, I don't know. This monster kind of reminds me a lot more of Zinogre, which is a fast lightning monster. But it's kind of one that I don't really like that much. Overall, I really don't like this monster. It's kind of... It's like a Zinogre rip-off, in my opinion. Because it's fast like the Zinogre, and it's kind of got the same moves. But yeah, it's, in my opinion, a little worse. And I'm also not sure, I didn't actually look it up, but I did get, I think, one of the rarer pieces. I don't think this monster has plates, but it had an oil shell. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't show you guys that, but you might be able to see it when it goes by really fast. It's a little white thing. You also get nourishing extract, which I believe makes mega demon drugs and mega armor skins, which just increase your armor, your defense, and your attack strength. Which kind of sucks, because it reminds me of the, what was it? It reminds me of the,
I thought she'd be with you.
What was that monster?
No, you're not.
Keizu. Keizu had pale extract. I absolutely hate fighting the Keizu, and it's the only way you can get pale extract, and that's what pisses me off, because I hate fighting that monster just to get the pale extract if I want to make the mega items that give me more attack power and more defense power.
Now, that's enough.
But yeah, I mean, it kind of does it. That armor also gives me the added ability for every time I do a quest, I might get more rewards from the quest. So, say I fight a Raffian, and I could get more scales and more shells. Like, I can get more rewards from the quest rewards section. And, which of course, you know, you want more rewards, because then that gives you a higher chance of getting the rare stuff. So then they explain about, oh yeah, the Veil is where monster comes to die. If you don't know, we were trying to find Zora Magdaros clues, which you probably saw as well. There were the flaming rocks. But yeah, and then it's just like this cycle, yeah. Yeah. Dumbass cat.
It's an ecological marvel.
Sure it is. That's pretty much what the ecosystem is, either way. A normal ecosystem does the same thing. You die, it goes back into the earth, and then it comes back as more life. That's the basics that we learned in like 6th, not even that, more like 5th grade. Or whatever, where we learned, hey, you got decomposers, which are worms. They return the nutrients from dead things into the soil, so that way you can get more life to come back. Yeah, that's pretty much what this is. And it's not dead.
Or at least it should be. The clues are all here, but Zora is nowhere to be found.
That's because it's alive. Why would they be like, hey, it's... Hey, that monster you tried to catch, that actually you wouldn't be able to capture because it's an Elder Dragon? And you know you can never capture Elder Dragons? Yeah, it's not dead. You thought it was dead, but it's not dead.
It's It's raining life.
Oh, yeah. It's raining dead leaves. Yeah, that's definitely life. Look at those dead leaves, will ya? It's definitely life if it's not connected to something that's absorbing nutrients.
Only I could live another 300 years.
Well, too bad you're not a wyvern.
Maybe that would be just long enough to see the end of this changing of the guard. Friends, you go finish this. I want to stay here a while longer.
Sure you do.
See what death has to give and life has to bring.
So die. Since you're enthused with death. So just die. Yeah, there's the oil shell. Anyways, yeah, now they're like, oh, you gotta go find the first wyverians. But of course, they make you go all the way back to the ancient forest. So you gotta go find the first wyverian. I was smart and brought the gun lance, the lightning gun lance. I wasn't smart enough to change my armor to the Raffian armor because I know what monster's coming up. It's gonna be a Rathalos. I hate the Rathalos. It's like the Raffian, except the only thing it does is it flies in the air. It never touches the ground unless you pretty much knock it out of the ground or you use flash bombs, which I never use. So it takes me forever to hunt it. And I hate hunting it because you have to get that dumb plate, just like the Raffian. And like the Raffian, it's just a flaming fire wyvern that flies in the air and can use poison. But it's like, honestly, it makes sense because why the Rathalos would be here, because in the Anjanath fight, the Rathalos kills the Anjanath. Also, it's shown in the front art of the game. For when you buy a physical copy, it's got the Rathalos literally right on the cover. And it's pretty much the mascot of Monster Hunter, which makes me hate it more. Because it's in every single game. And it's just a fire monster. Which almost like every single fire monster. There's way too many fire monsters. That's my point. That seems to be the only type they ever make. They might make a few water. They might make a few lightning. But if they do, they're gonna make like 50 fire monsters. Which is why everything's weak to like fire. Because they figure, oh, yeah, we got all these fire monsters. You're obviously gonna make all the fire monsters. Yeah, here's the first wyvern. First wyvern? Hey, you gotta go. You wanna fight that thing that's got a volcano on its back? Yeah, I know where it is. But you gotta fight the Rathalos and the Diablos. Diablos I like more than the Rathalos because the Rathalos is in every game. Diablos and Monoblos, which are literally the same thing, are not in every game. Which I don't get why. Because originally the Diablos, or what, no, the Monoblos, the one that never appears, was like the final boss of the first Monster Hunter game. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it.
Top of the food chain? Fire and horned wyverns? I guess we're supposed to hunt those two monsters.
Yeah, you are. So bye-bye, 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 bye-bye. That is it.